The Steam Deck is a haven for many JRPG games. A lot of them run and play really well on the Steam Deck, with engaging gameplay and rich stories to back them up. So today I will talk about 10 upcoming JRPGs in which I'm excited for that will be released in 2025 and beyond, and hopefully they will all run on the Steam Deck. Let's check it out. So let's start out with Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma. Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma is going to be released on June 4th, and it is an all-new Rune Factory game set in a new area on the east side of, you know it, Azuma. In this game, there is a disastrous, catastrophic event where it causes a once prosperous land to become a wasteland, where the mountains shattered and the fields dried up, and where everyone that lives in the east side of Azuma is now hopeless. So you, as an Earth Dancer, it is your job to fight against the corruption and heal the land. It is a beautiful game with seemingly deep lore to it based on my observation, based on the research of the game, as well as the trailers. It just kind of brings about this feel of deep lore as well as a colorful area that you can explore and engage in different types of combat and fights. Once again, Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma is going to be released on June 4th. Now up next is Raidou Remastered The Mystery of the Soulless Army. Raidou Remastered The Mystery of the Soulless Army is going to be released on June 18th. Now, as far as Raidou, I personally have not played it back in 2006. As far as this game goes, the reason I'm interested in it is because I love games from Atlus. I loved playing Persona 5 Royal. I loved playing Persona 4 Golden. I really enjoyed Metaphor ReFantazio, so it is safe to say that I really want to try out Raidou since it is also released by Atlus. Now, as far as the game goes, obviously I haven't played it, so I cannot give a detailed information of the story and settings, but based on my research about the game, take it with a grain of salt. This game, there's a girl who basically contacts the detective agency, and where she has this weird, unusual, bizarre request to have someone to actually kill her, and where suddenly she just disappears based on a kidnap, and where you as Raidou must do your job to investigate the mystery behind the kidnapping and the disappearance of the girl, and have to enter this place called the Dark Realm. Now, as far as the game goes, at first it just seems like solving this problem concerning an individual who got kidnapped and disappears, but all of a sudden this kind of problem just led to a more serious problem, and where it just escalates into a conspiracy that basically affects the whole nation. So you as Raidou must do all it takes to protect the nation. Now, though I know that it is not a turn-based game unlike Persona or Metaphor, but at the same time I feel like I'm really interested in the game. I'm really interested in the characters, the development, and the story and whatnot. So yeah, it is something in which I am most likely interested to check out and stuff. Once again, Raidou Remastered The Mystery of the Soulless Army is going to be released on June 18th. Now up next is Lost Hellden. Lost Hellden is going to be released sometime in 2025, and it is a 3D hand-painted JRPG game where you get to accompany 8 heavily customizable MCs where they are affected by 7 deadly sins. It's a game in which I don't know too much about it just yet as far as my research goes, but what I can say is that it is a game that has a really mature story to it. Now, as far as me looking at the trailer of Lost Hellden, it really looks like a game that has really flashy combat, as well as it looks like it has a really deep lore as far as the game goes. So that is something in which I'm really excited to definitely try out whenever the game gets released. Once again, Lost Hellden is going to be released sometime later in 2025. Now up next is Legends of Astravia. Legends of Astravia currently has a demo out for you to try, and it is gonna come to early access soon. As far as the latest update news goes, the developer said that he is working to shoot for a release in Q4 2025, but he will continue giving updates as the time gets closer. Legends of Astravia is a beautiful JRPG set in a magical world with various mind-bending dungeons, satisfying puzzles to solve, as well as caves that are flooded with treasures for you to discover. In this game, you get to play as Oliver, who is a mystician on a mission to find out his past, as well as uncover a conspiracy of a trio's plan to destroy humanity. It looks like a really promising game with interesting story, as well as interesting characters, as well as interesting NPCs to meet with. Once again, Legends of Astravia currently has a demo out for you to try. As far as the latest update news goes, the developer said that he is working to shoot for a release in Q4 2025, but he will continue giving updates as the time gets closer. Now up next is Guns Undarkness. Now though on the Steam store page, Guns Undarkness says it's going to be released sometime in 2025, but the producer actually said that in an update that it's going to be released sometime in 2026. Guns Undarkness is a command battle JRPG game that actually is developed by Shoji Meguro. In case you don't know who Shoji Meguro is, he is the director for the Persona games as well as the Shin Megami Tensei games. Now, as far as Guns Undarkness goes, this game draws the feel of Metal Gear Solid as well as the Persona games. In this game, you get to customize various firearms, build relationships with others, as well as control a protagonist with up to 3 other party members. In Guns of Undarkness, you are navigating a world that takes place in 2045 where humanity is on the edge of destruction, and you will have to undertake punishing, merciless missions where they could be very dangerous and deadly as well. Now, as far as the game goes, like the Persona games, there is downtime in the game where you and your team will be able to go to your hideout and where you can engage in various side quests, visit different shops, as well as, more importantly, upgrade your gear. I'm really interested to see how Shoji Meguro will make this game to turn out to be. I really loved the Persona games really much, and as far as Guns Undarkness goes, I really feel, based on my research, that this is going to be a more mature game. And what I mean by more mature game is not the rating of the game, because Persona games are rated as M. But what I'm saying by more mature means by the content, the story setting, and all that. As much as I really love Persona 5, as much as I really love Persona 4, the one thing that I kind of dislike, it's not a make or break, but I kind of dislike a little bit, is the high school life. Because for me, in case you don't know, I'm somebody in the 30s. So I more relate to people that are older. I don't really relate too much with people that are minors. Now I understand that there are things that I can learn from minors, but that's a whole different point. As far as the game's content goes, I am more inclined to favor content where the characters are more closer to my age, where there is more of a mature type of feel to it, a more mature type of theme to it. In Guns Undarkness, you are part of a military company. You are not a high schooler from what I researched. So that is a theme in itself where it is more mature in my opinion compared to the Persona games where it centers around high school and stuffs. But anyways, Guns Undarkness will release sometime in 2026. Now up next is Zerra's Adventure. Zerra's Adventure is going to be released sometime in Q2 2026, and it is a turn-based JRPG game where you get to navigate across a world full of various terrains, such as the forest, such as the deserts, such as the caves, and many more. There are also various dangers that go around in the world where you have to fight those different enemies, as well as there are also different treasures and weapons that you can find throughout the world that can assist you and your group as you embark on the adventure. Now, as far as Zerra's Adventure goes, in my opinion, it looks like a really fun pixel-vibed game with a colorful world where I can sink my teeth in, as well as when I watched the trailer, I really love the beautiful soundtrack. It just feels like this arcade-like soundtrack that is really upbeat and full of life, as well as the sound effects of the game goes. It's really top-notch, and it has this retro vibe feel where it kind of makes me relive those retro games where I used to play as a kid. It's just something that is just really jolly and really fun in my opinion, and I cannot wait to try this game out once it releases. Once again, Zerra's Adventure is going to be released in Q2 2026. Now up next is The Time I Have Left. The Time I Have Left is going to be TBA as far as the release date goes on the Steam store page, and in this this game, you get to play as Aline, where she is in Colony 7, which is unfortunately abandoned and where she has been marked by the miasma, where she unfortunately only has a short time to live, 6 hours to be exact. Now you, as Aline, you must do all it takes to escape Colony 7 before the timer runs out. As you go about, you get to face various enemies where you get to fight in turn-based JRPG style. So yeah, in my opinion, this game, it really looks like a game that has a really dark world, based on the setting that I just mentioned, and I feel like for this game, there is a really deep story potentially for the game. Now, there is a demo that is currently out, and I actually tried playing the time I have left for a bit on the demo. I didn't finish it yet, but I did play for a little bit, and with my Steam Deck OLED, I had it locked at 45 frames per second and at 90 Hertz, and I still get a solid mid-40s FPS. So it is safe to say that if the game lives up to the demo, once it releases, it should be able to run on the Steam Deck. Once again, the time I have left, there's a demo out, but as far as the actual release date goes, it is currently TBA. Now up next is Tactics Returners. Now as far as Tactics Returners goes, the release date on the Steam store page is TBA. In this game, you get to be a part of a team on a mission to liberate Hellden, and where this JRPG has tactical turn-based battles and where the animation just looks quite amusing in my opinion. What I'm really interested in the game is to explore the beautiful world flooded with wonders, as well as I am really interested in potentially the story of the game, learning more about the characters and whatnot. Once again, Tactics Returners, as far as the release date goes, it is to be announced. Now up next is CyberThreat. CyberThreat, as far as the release date goes, it is still TBA, and CyberThreat is a upcoming turn-based JRPG game with life simulation elements in it. In this game, you get to play as a senior in high school, where in the daytime, you act as a normal student, and where in the evening, you are on an important mission to battle the forces of cyberspace. The game is full of promises. As far as the game goes, the developers said that there will be 20 plus chapters of the game, as well as there will be 10 potential party members, as well as 25 plus contacts where you can interact with them and where it will unlock different stories and many more. What's also cool about CyberThreat is that you will be able to decide who you want to be. You can choose between whether you want to be a male MC or do you want to be a female MC. Now, as far as CyberThreat goes, why am I really excited? The number one reason in which I'm really excited for CyberThreat is because it really looks like the Persona 5 vibes. And as far as CyberThreat goes, with the promise of 20 plus chapters, as well as all the different party members and the different contacts where you can unlock different stories, learn more about the characters and whatnot, it really gives me this incentive to really want to try it out. I'm really interested in the story side as well as the combat side. It's just something that really interests me. Anyway, CyberThreat, as far as the release date goes, it is still TBA. Alright, last but not least, Forge of the Fae. Forge of the Fae, even though on the Steam store page it says TBA, but according to the trailer it says that it will come sometime in 2027. Now, Forge of the Fae, it is a story-rich JRPG game set in a world flooded with mysteries, and it also has Celtic folklore to it. In this game, you get to join a group of friends where you get to work as party members and go about on the mission to reveal the mysteries of various disappearances. Now, what's really important in Forge of the Fae to note is that there are various choices that you get to make in the game where it will lead to various consequences and will affect the story of the game. Forge of the Fae, in my opinion, it has a beautiful world with a brilliant soundtrack, and that is something that I find really cool. Now, as far as Forge of the Fae goes, if you really want to try it out right now, there's actually a demo out if you would like to try it on the Steam Deck. So yeah, once again, Forge of the Fae, even though it says to be announced on the Steam store page, but according to the trailer, it says that it's gonna come sometime in 2027. Alright friends, these are 10 upcoming JRPGs in which I am really excited excited and hope to experience once they get released. Let me know in the comment section below, do you play JRPG games? Are there any JRPG games in which you are excited for? We'll love to discuss in the comment section below. And as always, if you love gaming lists, gaming reviews, gaming discussions, and everything related to Steam Deck, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe so you'll not miss another video. I try to post Mondays and Fridays around 6 PM Pacific time, so stay tuned. Once again, my name is Joey from the Nomadic Gaming Guild, and game on!